Have you ever considered what it takes to transform into the ideal partner in your relationships? Deep down, we all crave love, respect, and the feeling of being truly appreciated by those around us. But how can we achieve that? How can we earn sincere admiration, not merely for surface traits or achievements, but for the essence of who we really are? Think of every relationship as a thrilling journey, with you as the adventurer uncovering your inner treasures. To reveal these hidden gems and share them with others, you need a guide, a clear route that leads to deeper understanding, connection, and ultimately, genuine love. Today, I'll walk you through a process of discovering your true worth in relationships, inspired by 9 time-tested Stoic principles. This isn't just another set of cliches, it's a way to empower yourself in ways you might not have imagined. Prepare to uncover the secrets of building a life rich with love and meaningful bonds, relationships founded on mutual respect and inner resilience. Let's dive in. Lesson 1: Recognizing your inherent value. How does Stoicism connect to appreciating your worth in relationships? At its core, Stoic philosophy emphasizes focusing on what you can control, and your self-worth is completely within that realm. It's not measured by social media likes or whether someone expresses interest in you, it's all about the way you perceive and value yourself. Imagine for a moment that you're a precious gemstone. Not everyone might see the brilliance of a rare gem, some may simply walk by, unaware of its true significance. Yet, that doesn't lessen the gem's rarity or beauty. You are just as unique and valuable, regardless of who notices you. We've all faced rejection or felt inadequate at times, especially in an era where it seems everyone else is succeeding. The key insight from a Stoic viewpoint is that your worth doesn't hinge on external validation. It springs from how you live, through your principles, your actions. Are you compassionate? Do you practice honesty? Are you true to your values? That's where your real value lies. The Stoics encouraged deep self-reflection. Take a moment to look inward and acknowledge not only your obvious strengths but also the subtle qualities that define who you are. In any relationship, it's vital to draw strength from your own sense of worth, regardless of whether others see it. Remember, recognizing your value isn't a one-time realization, it's an ongoing process. Each day, affirm to yourself that you are valuable, not because of someone else's opinion, but because of the unique qualities that make you who you are. Lesson 2: Embracing your authentic presence. Before you picture a Stoic as a rigid, emotionless figure from ancient lore, let's clear something up. Stoicism isn't about bottling up your feelings or detaching from life, it's about wisely choosing where to invest your energy. And that energy should certainly go toward how you present yourself. Think about what it means to carry yourself with dignity in relationships. Often, we find ourselves bending over backward to impress someone, losing sight of who we truly are in the process. We might alter our style, our speech, or even our behavior in hopes of winning approval. But here's the essential insight: your self-respect isn't linked to the clothes you wear, your social scene, or any trendy habits. It's rooted in how you conduct yourself, the actions you take, and the choices you make. Imagine a classroom where 2 students deliver presentations. One relies on flashy language and exaggerated gestures, while the other speaks calmly and confidently without any pretense. Which one do you think leaves a lasting impression? More often than not, it's the genuine student who is comfortable in their own skin. This is a powerful reminder of why presenting yourself with dignity matters. The Stoics, champions of self-mastery and virtue, taught that living honestly and respecting oneself is paramount. So, how does this translate to modern dating? Simply put, be true to who you are. If you love losing yourself in a good book, own it. If you're passionate about a particular hobby, let that enthusiasm shine. It's not about mimicking someone else, it's about standing firm in your own identity and recognizing your inherent worth. Another key aspect is how you treat yourself. The respect you show for yourself sets the standard for how others should treat you. Constant self-criticism sends a message that it's acceptable for others to do the same. Conversely, when you value your time, energy, and emotions, you declare boldly, I deserve respect, and I expect it. Consider the wisdom of Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In relationships, the focus isn't solely on your looks or words, it's on your responses and the composure you maintain under pressure. Do you react with desperation or with grace? Do you compromise your values to fit in, or do you remain steadfast in your beliefs, even if that means standing apart from the crowd? Perfection isn't the goal, we're all imperfect, with our own flaws and missteps. What counts is how we handle those moments, whether we crumble or rise, learn, and continue on. Take a moment to reflect on this. How can you start treating yourself with more dignity? It might be as simple as establishing clear boundaries or saying no to things that don't align with your values. When you begin to view yourself as worthy of respect, others will follow suit. Lesson 3, Mastering the Silent Signals. This may sound a bit traditional or even rigid at first glance, but hear me out, it's really about honoring yourself and recognizing your intrinsic value, not about being inaccessible. So, what insight does Stoicism offer on this topic? At its heart, Stoicism teaches us self-regulation and resilience, but it's far from dull or overly strict. It's about discerning what truly matters and guarding it carefully. In an era of instant gratification and endless scrolling, Stoic principles can feel like a welcome pause. Consider how, in new relationships or budding connections, there's a tendency to overshare, giving away too much of your time, space, or inner thoughts right off the bat. Stoics would advise taking a measured step back. Why? Because when you're constantly available, the allure diminishes. If you're always saying yes and always on call, where's the intrigue, the suspense, the genuine excitement? Let's explore the art of setting boundaries in a graceful, Stoic-inspired manner. It starts with how you present yourself. Dressing in a stylish yet modest way isn't merely about aesthetics, it's a statement of self-respect. You're not hiding who you are, but you're also choosing not to reveal every detail immediately. It's about striking a balance, subtly saying, "There's more to me than meets the eye." Another key element is how you manage your time and attention. In our hyper-connected world, being selective about who gets your focus is a powerful decision. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about affirming that your time is valuable and should be spent wisely. When you're with someone, be fully engaged. When you're not, it's perfectly fine to invest that energy in your personal growth and passions. Stoicism also underscores the importance of emotional self-control. This philosophy doesn't promote being cold or detached, rather, it advocates for maintaining a balanced outlook. It's about not letting minor setbacks or fleeting emotions disrupt your peace. You reserve your emotional energy for those who truly deserve it, much like you guard your time and focus. I'm not suggesting that you become unfeeling or distant like a marble statue. Authentic connections are essential for a fulfilling life. Instead, the idea is to cultivate relationships that evolve naturally over time, relationships that are based on lasting substance rather than immediate rewards. Setting boundaries isn't about manipulation or control, it's about staying true to yourself and upholding your values. Through both your actions and your demeanor, you communicate that you value yourself and expect to be treated with respect. So here's to adopting a measured, thoughtful approach to relationships, one that balances openness with healthy discretion. This attitude will profoundly shape how others interact with you. Cheers to honoring our worth and weaving a bit of Stoic wisdom into today's dating landscape. Lesson 4, Embrace the strength to walk away. Stoicism teaches us a profound lesson about detachment, not as a sign of indifference, but as a clear recognition of what we can control and what we cannot. One of the most empowering decisions you can make is choosing whether to remain or step away from a situation that undermines your well-being. This idea is especially vital in relationships. How many times have we stayed in a situation we knew wasn't right because of the fear of loneliness, the uncertainty of change, or the hope that things might improve? Stoic wisdom reminds us that true strength lies in our ability to choose, to remain in connections that honor our values or to leave those that don't. This isn't about abandoning relationships at the first sign of trouble. Every bond requires effort, patience, and understanding. Instead, it's about knowing your self-worth so well that when something fundamentally conflicts with your principles, you feel prepared to move on. It's that inner resilience, that stoic courage, that quietly declares, "I value myself too much to settle for less." At its core, being ready to leave is an act of self-respect. It means standing by your beliefs and recognizing your own worth. Sometimes, this decision doesn't involve any dramatic fanfare. It might just be a calm, thoughtful step away when something no longer fits your path. Although the prospect of change can be intimidating, remember that the Stoics showed us how to face uncertainty with bravery and grace. In essence, sometimes the most courageous move is to let go of what no longer serves you. When you choose to stay in a relationship because it genuinely aligns with your values, not out of fear or desperation, you transform the dynamic completely. It becomes a true, empowering choice. The key takeaway is that by confidently stepping away from what doesn't benefit you, you make room for what does. It's like clearing out the old to welcome a brighter future. This decision isn't about being detached or uncaring, it's about cherishing yourself enough to affirm that you deserve better. Embrace this Stoic mindset, knowing that your worth isn't dependent on external validation but on the deep respect you have for yourself. Lesson 5, Demonstrating Boundaries Through Action. Stoicism teaches that actions speak louder than words. Rather than merely proclaiming your limits, the Stoics believed in living them out, making your boundaries evident through what you do rather than what you say. Think about it. It's simple to assert, "I refuse to be mistreated," but the real challenge comes when you're confronted with that behavior. The true test lies in whether you'll stand firm on your limits or give in. Genuine strength is revealed through your actions, not just declarations. I know this can be tough, especially when emotions are involved. Yet, the Stoics remind us that we always have the power to choose our reaction. When someone crosses a line, it's your response that solidifies and enforces that boundary, not just your words alone. Picture a scenario where honesty is a non-negotiable value for you, and someone lies. Your response at that moment will show how deeply you uphold your principles. Whether you calmly address the dishonesty or decide to withdraw, your behavior clearly communicates your commitment to your values. This isn't about creating conflict, it's about maintaining self-respect and aligning your actions with your beliefs. This approach can transform relationships. When people see that you not only set clear boundaries but also stick to them, they come to understand what is acceptable to you. It's all about nurturing your self-respect and remaining true to it. Consider the everyday moments, too, like when plans suddenly change or when you feel undervalued. Do you simply shrug it off, or do you calmly and consistently signal that such behavior isn't okay? This is where Stoic mindfulness comes into play, being fully aware of the present and ensuring your actions reflect your personal limits and authenticity. Remember, it's often in these small, daily interactions that your boundaries are truly put to the test. Embracing a bit of Stoicism in how you express your limits doesn't mean being inflexible, it's about trusting your inner compass to guide your responses. And when you do this consistently, people notice. They begin to see you as someone who not only sets boundaries but also values themselves enough to enforce them. Lesson 6. Let your deeds define reality. At its core, Stoicism is about applying practical wisdom. It teaches us to evaluate people by what they do rather than what they merely say. In today's world, it's common for individuals to offer flattering promises without following through, and this discrepancy is especially evident in relationships. The Stoics urge us to look beyond smooth talk and focus on real actions. Words are easy to come by. A person can paint a picture of an ideal future or make grand promises without backing them up. The truth, however, is revealed through consistent, tangible actions that support those words. Think about it. How many times have you encountered someone whose eloquent promises eventually faded as their actions fell short? They might say they'll call or commit to plans, only to cancel when the moment arrives. This is exactly when a Stoic approach becomes invaluable. By staying logical and objective, you guard your heart against being misled by mere words or transient emotions. When there's a clear mismatch between what someone says and what they do, it's a signal that something is off, a subtle cue from reality itself. Adopting this mindset changes how you manage relationships. Instead of getting swept away by charming declarations, you start paying attention to the little details. How does the person behave under pressure? Do they keep their commitments? Are they truly present when you need them? By concentrating on actions rather than promises, you set a clear standard. You're effectively saying, I value genuine behavior over empty words. This approach encourages others to prove their sincerity through consistent actions if they wish to earn your trust. This isn't about becoming cynical or distrusting everyone, it's about using Stoic insight to protect your emotions while remaining realistic. In love and life, let's be guided by a careful observation of deeds, because, in the end, actions reveal more than words ever could. Lesson 7. Nurturing constructive doubt. Stoicism teaches us to confront reality as it truly is, not as we might wish it to be. The Stoics held that understanding situations in their raw, unfiltered form is essential, a lesson that proves especially valuable in love and dating. We've all experienced those moments when someone speaks all the right words, and our hearts jump at the chance to believe them, even when subtle warning signs are present that we might prefer to ignore. This is precisely where adopting a Stoic perspective can be so advantageous. Approaching relationships with a healthy measure of skepticism is akin to possessing a hidden strength. It doesn't mean you become pessimistic or overly mistrustful, rather, it's about remaining realistic and not accepting every claim without scrutiny. It involves observing carefully, asking the right questions, and avoiding the rush into situations without thoughtful reflection. Imagine meeting someone new who appears absolutely wonderful. They shower you with compliments and even start talking about a future together, even though you've only just met. A balanced, Stoic mindset would advise you to take things slowly, observe whether their actions truly match their words, and allow time for the relationship to naturally unfold. This measured approach acts as a gentle reality check, reminding you to stay grounded and not get carried away by early romantic excitement. This kind of skepticism isn't about bombarding the other person with endless questions or casting doubt on every gesture. Instead, it's about a thoughtful, measured approach, listening not just to what they say but also paying close attention to what they do. It means taking the time to really understand someone and assess whether their behavior is consistent and genuine. The Stoics championed the use of logic and reason over impulsive emotion, a strategy that helps you see a person's true nature more clearly. In relationships, such an approach is crucial, especially when emotions run high. We might overlook significant details when our feelings take over, but combining those emotions with a touch of skepticism and logical thinking allows you to perceive the situation more accurately. Importantly, this mindset protects your heart by ensuring you don't rush into something uncertain. It gives you the space to truly gauge the other person's character, rather than simply projecting your desires onto them. So, let's remember the value of adopting a hint of Stoic skepticism. It's about being smart, observant, and keeping our emotions in check so they don't lead us astray. This approach isn't about shutting ourselves off, it's about safeguarding our emotional well-being and engaging with new opportunities through careful consideration and wisdom. Lesson 8. Declining with assurance. In Stoicism, remaining true to your core values and having the courage to stand by who you are is paramount. This principle is especially significant when it comes to the art of saying no in relationships. It involves recognizing your beliefs and confidently upholding your expectations, even if doing so creates some tension. Imagine you find yourself in a relationship where your partner suggests something that doesn't sit well with your personal values, perhaps moving too quickly or pressuring you into actions that conflict with your core principles. The easiest option might seem to be going along with it, but this is precisely when a Stoic perspective is vital. In these moments, saying no is an expression of self-worth, a way to honor your beliefs and establish your personal boundaries. Let's be honest, making that choice is not always easy. It can be extremely challenging, particularly When you care deeply about the person involved. That nagging thought might whisper, what if saying no pushes them away? Yet, it is exactly in these situations that you must find your inner strength. Stoicism is not merely about managing external circumstances, it's equally about confronting our internal conflicts with bravery. Saying no is ultimately an act of self-respect. It communicates that you value yourself highly and refuse to settle for anything less than you deserve. Of course, there is always a risk, you might lose the relationship as a result. But consider this, if rejecting something that goes against your values causes someone to distance themselves, perhaps they were not the right partner for you in the first place. Embracing this approach can fundamentally change the dynamics of a relationship. When someone sees that you are unafraid to say no and that you refuse to compromise your values simply to appease them, their perception of you shifts. It becomes clear that you possess a strong sense of self-respect and value, and that quality is undeniably attractive. From another Stoic standpoint, saying no is not solely about setting limits with others, it is also about being honest with yourself. It involves acknowledging your true desires and needs within a relationship and staying committed to them. It means not letting the fear of being alone force you into decisions that betray your authentic self. Take a moment to reflect on this. Saying no is not just permissible, it is essential. It is about remaining true to who we are, living with integrity as the Stoics taught, and fostering relationships built on mutual respect and genuine connection rather than on fear or compromise. Lesson 9. Never pursue. Always cherish. This lesson ties together everything we've discussed, especially when we filter it through our Stoic lens. Stoicism reminds us to focus solely on what lies within our control while letting go of what does not. This perspective becomes incredibly powerful in relationships because it teaches you that chasing after someone who is drifting away is not only futile but also undermines your self-respect and awareness of your own value. Consider this scenario. You're dating someone and things initially seem wonderful, but then you notice them gradually pulling away. Our instinct, which most of us have felt at one time or another, is to rush after them in an effort to close that widening gap. Yet, a Stoic approach would question this impulse by asking, why invest energy in pursuing what you cannot control? The answer is found in your self-worth, your dignity, and the peace that comes from within. Chasing someone who is distancing themselves is like trying to hold on to water with your bare hands. It's an exercise in futility that only leaves you feeling depleted. Instead, Stoicism encourages you to remain steadfast in your sense of self-value. If someone is naturally moving away from you, allow them the space to do so. This isn't about being detached or uncaring, it's about acknowledging that while you cannot govern the actions or feelings of others, you do have complete control over your own responses. Let's be honest, resisting the urge to chase after someone demands significant inner fortitude. However, it's about trusting that if a person genuinely cherishes you, their actions will reflect that truth. It's a refusal to let someone else's behavior dictate your worth, an affirmation that states, I deserve respect, and if you cannot recognize that, then I will find it elsewhere. This shift in mindset turns the tables completely. You reclaim your power, ensuring that you are not at the mercy of another's unpredictable conduct, but instead are in charge of your emotions and your choices. It is both empowering and liberating. And here's the transformative part. Once you stop chasing after others and instead invest your energy in yourself, your own life, and your personal growth, amazing things begin to happen. You naturally start attracting people who are drawn to your strength, confidence, and unwavering sense of self-worth. It's as if you're sending out a clear message to the world, I know my value, and I honor it. So, let's take this lesson to heart. Let's remind ourselves that we never need to pursue anyone relentlessly. Instead, we can adopt a Stoic approach in our relationships, staying calm, honoring our self-respect, and focusing on what we have control over. It's all about finding that inner peace within ourselves rather than chasing external validation. As we wrap up our conversation today, I want you to keep one vital truth close. In the grand tapestry of life, your self-worth is the brightest thread that holds everything together. Like the Stoics taught us, you have the power to choose how you react to the events around you. Always remember that you control your own honor and self-esteem. Embrace your inner strength, and let your actions, choices, and boundaries mirror the incredible person you truly are. And if ever you find yourself in doubt, just recall this moment and the Stoic insights we've shared. Life is more than a series of challenges to endure, it's a chance to grow, becoming stronger and wiser with every passing day. If you found value in our discussion today, why not dive even deeper? Check out the playlist on your screen, filled with additional insights, stories, and practical tips to help you navigate life with increased wisdom and confidence. Click on it, and let's continue advancing together on this journey. Thank you for spending this time with me. Always remember, you're not alone on this path, we're all learning and evolving together, one step at a time. Until our next conversation, take care, remain wise, and keep embracing your true self.